she say? What you say? Oh, that you only meant well.
Broadcasting live from the Complete College Prospect Studio in Sin City. Heard around the world, discussing everything that is high school sports, is the Who's Up Next podcast.
What up, what up, what up? Great Sunday. It's your boy JR, a.k.a. the Big Fella. Great show on deck today. Got some nice athletes we're going to be showcasing. We got a special interview with Leilani Phillips, cover girl for Trapian Magazine. I can't remember which edition they had her on, but you could definitely go get that at trapianmagazine.com. Man, just a great show. Like, there's so much I want to talk about today. So many things I want to get into. You know, I get a lot of great feedback from parents and athletes about the things that they're learning from the show, things that they didn't know, and stuff like that. Sometimes I get concerned about giving out too much information. But then I get that feedback after the show, and I understand that if it's information I have to give, then there's someone out there that needs it. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. If it's for you, then take that information and do what you have to do with it. The whole point of this show is to give you the truth at all times about everything that you need to know when it comes to being an athlete. You know, on here, it's athlete, music, fashion, food, supplements. If you have questions, just hit it on YouTube. I think you could comment on X as well. I'm going to get it. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to make sure that you have the information you need to have. And it doesn't matter what the subject is. If you want someone that might not give you the answer just to be politically correct, go to your coaches, go to your parents, whatever. But if you ask here on the Who's Up Next show, the Big Fella is definitely giving you the answer. That's just the truth. And then you got to go run with it. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is. Sports is complicated. College is complicated. High school is complicated. Life is complicated. And I just want to make sure that everybody that pays attention to this show gets what they need out of the show. If I can help make it better, I'm going to help make it better. But we always going to start the show the same way. It's all about the truth and nothing but the truth. Let's go.
You snotty little bastard. I'll answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth! Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded. Who's gonna do it? You? I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom.
You know what I always say? That's how I feel, right? My responsibility as a gatekeeper, you know what I'm saying, as a former collegiate athlete, as a former professional athlete, is to not let the riffraff through. And I'm not, look, if I say riffraff or trash or bum and you think it's you, if it fit, it fit. I'm not talking to anybody in particular. I'm making a comment. And then if you feel some kind of way about it, then you might want to look in the mirror about why you feel some kind of way about the comment. Look, there's three types of athlete, right? For all the kids, I train youth, high school, college, pros in different sports. That come to me for training. I always say that there's three type of athletes, right? And at different points, you're going to be that athlete, right? So when you start off, you're a never was because you haven't done anything yet, right? So you're a never was. Then as you go along, and you've seen them, the athletes that they come to practice, they just want to wear the uniform or they just want to hang out or whatever. They're not really committed to it. They're the never will be's, right? Those are the first two. The never was, that's in the beginning. Or those that never even tried, right? That's never was. You can change that. Then there's the never will be. Again, it's a glove. It might fit some. It's not a glove you have to wear. You could change that too, right? You could definitely change being a never will be. Just work hard. If the talent is there and you got gifts, you know what I'm saying? Then there you go. Then there's the third. That's a has been. A lot of people like to act as if being a has been is a bad thing. It's not. Michael Jordan is a has-been. Tom Brady is a has-been. Peyton Manning is a has-been. Michael Vick is a has-been. Derek Jeter is a has-been. You have to have accomplished something to be a has-been. It means you were. You obviously you can't play sports forever. So it means that you were at some point. That's the goal, is that one day have the title of has-been. You used to be a thing. You'll forever have the title. You just don't do it anymore. And not everybody can accomplish that, right? But that's the goal. That's what these athletes that come on the show, these kids that we talk to, this is what these coaches that maybe they played, maybe they didn't, but they're coaching at a high level, changing lives every day. They are, when they retire from being coaches, they'll be has-been as coaches, but they will have done something great, right? So you don't have to wear those first 2 titles without the ability to change it. But there's only 3 titles in sports. That's it. Everybody wants the glamour, the money, like all that stuff, but there's really only 3 titles. Those are the 3 titles. You understand? Never was, never will be, has been. I'm hoping that everybody who watches this show gets enough information so that one day they can be a has-been. So you can smile and sit back and watch the next generation as they run on a path to try to become has-beens themselves. It's special. And it fits everything, right? If you are a cop, a soldier, a politician, doctor, whatever it is, one day when you can't do it anymore, you were a has-been. It means that you accomplished your goal. Doesn't matter. Hell, look, if we're being honest, even as a husband and wife, a father, a mother, even as being a son or a daughter, you know what I'm saying? One day you'll be a has-been. You'll always be a son or a daughter, but one day your parents are gonna pass away. So then, like, technically you don't have parents that you go talk to. So then, like, you always have inside to be a son and a daughter, but you don't have nobody that's there to say that's my son or my daughter. And that's how that works. Like that, it's a special title that we all have the ability to have in different areas of our life, right? So that's why I give you the truth, because I want you to get where you're trying to go, no matter what it is. If you come on here, you ask a dating advice, I'm gonna give it to you if I have the answer. But I'm definitely gonna let everybody that makes comments also give you the answer. We look, it's a village. We try to make sure the glove fit so you could get what you need to get. We're not gonna have news today. We just want to talk about a couple things because there's some things that came across my feed that I thought should be shared on the show today. And so let's get to Mace. He said something I thought was that really fits, right? Let's check it out.
This is what I learned about life. There's only 2 reasons why something doesn't work. You're not supposed to be doing it, or you're not faithful enough to. Those are only 2 reasons things don't work, no matter what.
I truly believe that, right? That, like, I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that every athlete that laces them up truly wants to become a pro one day. I'm gonna go a step further and say that I believe that every athlete that wants to be a professional athlete could be a professional athlete. That wants to be a collegiate athlete could be a collegiate athlete. What happens, the thing that I think stops it, is those 2 things. You're either doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, or you're not committed to it. You're not committed to practicing. You're not committed to going to class. You're not committed to being disciplined, or you're playing a sport that really doesn't suit you. There's other sports that you would be phenomenal at, but you're playing a sport just because that's what everybody else plays. I'm not here to say that football, basketball, baseball, softball are the better. Go to rowing, go to fencing, go to track. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I was watching pickleball the other day. I never thought I liked pickleball. I started respecting those men and women because I was like, man, that takes some talent. So pick the sport that's right for you. Pick the thing that fits and then commit to it. You know what I'm saying? You got to marry sports. That's the big thing. You got to marry it. You got to love it. You got to love it in a way that's obsessive. You got to love it in a way that nothing else matters, that you can't breathe without it. You know, when you can't imagine going through your day without training for it. You know, the hardest thing to do is put it down and put it to the side and go do something else. When you love it like that, there's nothing that's going to stop you from getting where you're trying to go. Hey, we added this, so I'm going to make sure I'm hitting it from here on out. You know what I'm saying? If you like the show, make sure you like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? It's the monotony, you know what I'm saying, things you got to put in there. I also wanted to get into Dion before we get into these highlights because he spoke on something that I think a lot of kids are going through right now. Over the last week, a lot of head coaches for football got fired. And there were some athletes, for most of you that don't know, this week there was a 3-day window, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th for the early signing period for the D1 level, early commits trying to go to school in January, things like that. Still have the February National Signing Day, but there was a 3-day window for early commits. There were some kids that thought that their scholarships were locked in. Their coaches got fired earlier in the week. And during the early period, they found out they couldn't commit because whoever, one, they didn't know who the new coach was going to be. 2, if there was a new coach, that athlete wasn't on their priority list. And so they ended up having to decommit and try to go somewhere else. That's the nature of the beast, you know what I'm saying? And so Dion said something I think is important. I think I touched on it last week when I was trying to explain to some of you guys that are only showing when you get the Division I offers. You're not showcasing when you get the D2s, D3s, you drop to the NAIA or you drop to the national JUCO level. You should be putting up all these offers. You should be entertaining all these offers, and I'm going to show you why. But let's get to what Dion had to say first.
Just say we get 25 high school players. How many is going to play that freshman year at the most? Let's say 4 or 5, right? And so now you got 20 guys redshirted. So when you go through that spring with that 20 guys redshirted, how many are you going to retain after that spring? Or how many are going to jump in the portal on you? Let's just do it. If any one of you going to go statistically and try to calculate this, I already done it. So it's going to be how many? Half. Okay, why don't I just focus on 10? Guys that can, see, when we grab a freshman, we expect that guy to play. We're not looking at, hey, man, we can just redshirt you, develop you. No. We're looking for you to come in and play some football. I don't give a darn if it's a walk-on, if it's a Cash Cleveland. We expect you to play. So our approach is somewhat different, heavily scrutinized, heavily criticized, but we know what we're doing. So if anybody ever did the homework and the statistics of these young men that people have a class that they say is the #1 class in the nation, then 5 of those guys play or 4 of those guys play, then the rest go through the spring, then they jump in the portal. Give me those numbers. Don't give me the numbers of where you rank nationally recruiting, because this is like an NFL team. You always say who won the draft. Then the team gets killed all year. You don't say nothing else about it. Who won the draft last year in the NFL? Nobody cares.
Hey, I agree with these comments, right? I just want, for you guys that are only here for the videos, hey, that's not all that the Who's Up Next show is about. There's other shows for that, right? Where you can just go get videos that mean something, but you leave with, you don't leave any better. You don't leave with any more information than you came to the show with. I appreciate that you're here with me. So I want to make sure I'm giving you this other information, things that may not come across your feed, information that may not come to you. And it doesn't matter whether it's football, basketball, baseball, softball, wrestling, track, it doesn't matter, right? These things are the same. Look, this is the way that the NCAA, well, not just the NCAA, colleges work, right? Recruiters come out, they might have 5 spots. They might have 2 spots, depending on your sports, especially with this new cap that's going on with the NCAA. So let's say they only got a couple spots, but they may offer 100 athletes in that year. So you get these kids that are putting up 20, 30 offers, and most of them aren't actually real. They're not committable, right? They look good, they feel good, but the athlete doesn't do the homework to understand that not all of it is committable. So then what happens is the athlete turns around, goes on a couple of visits. Then when you start asking for those official visits, that's when you start figuring out which schools might like you, or you might be high on their depth chart of recruits and things like that on their board, because they start telling you no. I know a kid that had like 4 or 5 offers this year. When it came time to go on his official visits, the school called and was like, nah, we're going to go a different way. But that kid put those offers up. That kid thought those were in the bag. In some instances, kids pass on certain offers because they think other offers are the better scenario. Look, I don't care whether you go D1, D2, D3, JUCO, NAIA. Facility-wise, D3s tend to have better facilities than a lot of places. When you go to a lot of Division Ones, you'll find out that outside of those really big names, there's D1s with trash facilities because they're still smaller schools. When you talk about getting scholarship offers, most people don't even understand. If you go to the Ivy League doesn't even Division I Ivy League offers no scholarships. That they don't do that. It's all academic scholarships. That doesn't make it anything less. D2 offers scholarship offers and a mix of academic. D3 is academic, but it's still NCAA sports, right? NAIA, JUCO, some of those cases NAIA will offer scholarships. JUCO is a little bit it's tricky, but it's still quality. Look, the whole goal is for you to be playing somewhere, for the door to be open, for it not to be over. Because if it stops at high school, then you're a never was, and you might not be able to change that. It depends. It's a harder path, right? I'm not telling you can't. It just means you got to be able to dig deeper, try harder, and go harder to get where you're trying to go. So that's where things like that are, right? For you guys that get lucky enough, well, I don't know if it's luck or a curse, to be real with you. For you young men and women, hey, what up, E-Money? For you young men and women that go D1 right away, I'm gonna hit you with a statistic that's gonna scare some of you. So here we go, right? You have a higher percentage chance of being successful at the D1 level if you start at a lower level. If you go from high school to D1, I don't care if you're a 3, 4, 5 star, the highest rated athletes in high school, this is how many of them are successful at the Division I level. According to all the data that's available, for not even though it says football players, it's actually for all sports. Football just has a higher number of athletes that end up playing, so the percentage is actually lower for every other sport. Of all of the top high school players, when they hit the Division I level, only between 1% and 3% of those players will actually succeed at the D1 level. The majority are going to fail. In the first year, 50%. 50%. I'm going to say that again. First year, 50%. Now, that number is actually lower when it comes to all the other sports. When it comes to how many of them fail in the first year, it's lower than 50% for everything else. But for football, 50% of the top high school athletes that go D1 straight out of high school fail in the first year. Only 1% to 3% succeed, period, of the highest rated. Now I'm going to give you the other stat. Of the athletes that go to the NAIA, JUCO, the Division IIs, the Division IIIs, and then bounce up to Division I, 70% are successful. I was shocked when I got the information myself, to be honest. I thought it would, I thought it would be different, but that information was what it was. But it bears itself out. Some of the Hall of Famers that we all look up to and say that, they're amazing athletes. They started at community colleges, JUCOs, Division IIs, NAIAs, Division IIIs. They started at lower levels, ended up bouncing up, getting everything together. I had to look at it and say that what I think is going on is when you go from high school straight to Division I, you didn't get a chance to prepare for the test. So you get there and you find out you're there to get your medical license and you're taking the test to become a doctor day one. You weren't ready for it. You didn't get to go to med school. I think when you go to the lower levels, you get a chance to see the test, take your practice test a couple times, and then you're ready when you get to the test. This is why you're seeing coaches like Deion say, if I'm only going to have a couple of players out of high school that I could actually use, I'm going to the portal. Because in the portal, they've already shown that they've taken the practice test. We weren't necessarily positive about them outside of high school. They were good in high school. We weren't sure. They went, took the practice test, and we're like, oh, no, yeah, okay, that kid and that kid and that kid fits. They could do this. So as athletes, I hope that you guys post those JUCOs when you get those offers. Post those NAIAs, post those D2s, D3s, post those D1s, but give it all the same respect, because the thing is that in all honesty, less than 3% of all athletes will ever play college sports. That's a fact. You could Google that. Less than 3% of all athletes in the world will ever play college sports. Receive a scholarship, play, anything. So you're blessed when you get it, appreciate it, show these coaches love, you know what I'm saying? And you'll see that it all pay off for you. I wanted to get into that. That's the only, no news today. That was going to be it before we started getting into interviews and everything else. You know what it is. We're going to hit the CCP commercial. When we come back, we got Caden Harris.
I can't breathe. 999. Waiting for the exhale. I toss my pain with my wishes in a wishing well. I can't breathe. I'm waiting for the exhale. Toss my pain with my wishes in a wishing well. Still no luck, but oh well. I still try even though I know I'm gon' fail. Stress on my shoulders like an anvil. Perky got me itching like an anthill. Drugs killing me softly, Lord hell. Sometimes I don't know how to feel.
Hey, welcome back to the show. We're going to jump into Caden Harris. Then we're going to come back. After that, we got Leilani Phillips up for her interview. I can see her link in the back room, so we'll have her on. We have a first today. I never do it, but there was a young man whose video came across my feed, and when it did, immediately, and I mean immediately, a comparison popped into my head about who this young man reminds me of. And I had to go back and look at the other person. And then when I did that, I was like, yo, I got to put up the comparison so that people can see that this is who this young man is just like, and his future is bright. And so, we have a comparison alert, first time ever on the show. And I think it won't be the last time, but this was just like, it was too perfect, right? So we're going to jump into Caden Harris first. I'm going to score it after and talk about it after. Let's go. Caden Harris.
This is Caden Harris. I just transferred from Chesapeake to Orange County, Kentucky. I'm the point guard, and I'd love for you to check out my highlight video.
Something's got a hold on me lately. No, I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in, and the devil's knocking at my door. Whoa, out of my mind. How many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone? Yeah, it's taking a toll on me. Trying my best to keep from tearing the skin off my bones. Don't you know I'm losing control when you're not next to me? I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I'm losing control.
Yo, that's Caden Harris. So let me say I'm a little biased about this kid, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. So before I rate him, anything else? Matter of fact, I'm it's an addition to why he's gonna get the rating he's gonna get, right? So I told you guys if an athlete does not send in their intro or promo stuff, I'm just not putting them on the show. I don't care how good they are. I don't care how good their grades are. I'm not going to do it, right? So I had kids that were taking their time getting everything in. This kid had everything done 2 weeks, like before it was even his time, right? So then I put up on the X account for the show. I was like, look, I'm probably gonna have to drop his show. Wasn't even supposed to be till next week. I was like, I'm gonna have to drop somebody. Like I need to add some kids to the show. I get a message that says he wants to go. We move him forward. Everything, whatever we needed for the show, whatever we needed him to do, he was on top of. He's about his business. Period. He's about making sure he's seen. He's about making sure that people, get a chance to respect his craft, respect the work he puts in. And so for me, that adds to his value of not just being an athlete, but being about his business, because this is a business. I keep saying it every week. And I know that some of you are like, oh, no, it's just a sport. And if you think it's just a sport, you're an idiot. It's just that simple. If you think that high school sports is just a sport and it's not a business, you have lost already. If you're a youth athlete and you think that this is just a sport, you're having fun, but you want to go play in high school and college and you don't understand this is a business, you're an idiot. If your parents feel that way, they're idiots. This thing is a business from day one, period. And so to have this young man really doing what he has to do, I love it. And so I'm going to be biased in this. So this is what, look, he's 4 gorillas, right? He's a 4 gorilla athlete. That's from the Big Fella Official. He's 4 gorillas. That entails everything. GPA is right. Good person. Good athlete, right? His skill level is solid. His video shows defense plus offense. I'm always going to love that, right? People want to see that. Is he going to strike you mid-level, from mid-range doing his thing on the court? Yes and no. But his long-range game is nice. He's a team player. We saw that. He's going to feed whoever needs to be fed, and that's how he's going to win. He's not going to be the guy that goes out there and gives you, is he going to be your biggest star on your team? No, but he's the guy he's definitely the Robin. He's going to make your star the star. And without him, your star is not going to be a star. Your star is going to be, your star is going to be okay. Now, in a couple of years, I think he becomes Batman, not just Robin. You know what I'm saying? And he's built like that. And whoever becomes his Robin is going to be strong because he's not selfish. So he's going to bring that person along with him. So right now, I think he's a 4 gorilla guy, and that's including the whole package, being about business and everything else. His future's bright. He's going to go get the scholarships. He's not waiting for people to give them to him. That's not going to happen. He's out there promoting himself and doing the things he needs to do and making the connections he needs to make. You know what I'm saying? Linking up with Kevin Moses and all that. Like that's what it is. So for me, my guy's a 4 gorilla guy all day. I think in the future, he's 5. You know what I'm saying? I think he keeps pushing in the direction he's pushing. It's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. I can't wait to see how the season plays out for him this year and then what it's looking like at the end of the year. He probably going to end up back on the show. I'm definitely interviewing the kid. So I don't know if that'll be next week or the week after that. I'm going to try to get him on the show before Christmas because I want to talk to the young man. I'm all about the people that hustle. No different than Leilani Phillips. She saw that an interview fell through from a kid who didn't do anything to get on the show. And so I just got rid of that interview. And I was like, hey, I need somebody. She was like, I'll take the spot. And right away, bam, got everything she needed in, promo up, everything ready. Soon as she cut her camera on, because she's coming up next, I'm gonna link her in for her interview. But she killed that. She jumped into the spot, and I'm gonna reward that all day, every day. If you hear that I need you, I need somebody for an interview, or I need somebody to fill a spot, whether I've spoken to you or not, and you jump in there, I'm in there. Like it's that simple, man. Man, hold on, let me make this. You know what? I ain't even gonna type it in there, Caden. Hey, bro, that's what I'm talking about. Look, a lot of times I talk about these athletes, they don't even jump in the comments to say something about what's being said about them. This is who this kid is, man. Like, this is who he is. Kate, reach out. I'm gonna reach out to you. You reach out to me. Let's link this up, man. Either next Sunday, the following Sunday, before Christmas. Let's get you on the show for an interview, bro. I love the hustle, man. I love the hustle, and that's it. Like I said, 3%, less than 3% of athletes will play college sports. I bet Caden playing. I bet money Caden play college, because he's not gonna let the door stay locked. He's kicking it down if he have to, and I'm here for it. The big fella's here for it. He helping every way he can. Promise you that. The CCP family jumping in. Like, it's that simple, man. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? Look at that, man. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. Leilani, until your camera come on, I can't. There you go. Look, again, these are my people, man. These young athletes that are about it, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just with it. Look, our next athlete up for an interview, Leilani Phillips. Like I said, cover girl, Trapine Magazine. Great soccer player. You're gonna see it in the video. What do I want to put up first? Let's show up the cover. Nah, we'll save that. Let's show up our video. Then we're gonna get her in, and then we'll throw up the cover girl. Let's go, Leilani Phillips.
American woman, stay away from me. American woman, mama, let me be. Don't come hanging round my door. I don't wanna see your face no more. I got more important things to do than spend my time going on with you. Now, woman, stay away. American woman, listen what I say. American woman.
All right, before I'm about to bring Leilani on, I want to give, look, Caden's travel coach is on. So I want to address the comment. He was like, this is his travel ball coach for Tri-State Matrix. He was like, he's not a Robin on our team. He is Batman. The kid has it. No fear against anybody. I love it. I believe it. I see it in the film. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I make a comment, I don't believe in judging these athletes based on high school, or if I put up youth sports, I'm not basing it on your youth level. Everything I'm doing is based on what I think you will be at the college level. So when I make a comment, when I judge you, it's for your potential for college sports. You know what I'm saying? Because why judge you where you are? You wouldn't be on this show if you weren't one of the best at what you already do. So when I say for Gorillas, it's because I have zero doubts. I can see it in the film that he's not Batman on there, coach. Like, I already know. I appreciate that y'all got the film. But you know what I appreciate more? So look, when I always say it take a village, right? Caden's on here. He made sure I had everything. Caden surrounded himself with a great village because his coach, Matthew, I'm going to mess it up, Matthew Scheidler, came on, watched this young man, and supports this young man and spoke for this young man. Athletes, look right now, Tri-State Matrix, big fella. If you play basketball, you could get on that team. You could try out for that team. Go mess with Tri-State Matrix. If this is what the coach is like, then that's a quality village. There you go. I appreciate the people that do this thing, man. It takes so much more than just the athlete. So to see a coach come on here and support his athlete, I love it. I love it. I love it. Coach, keep doing what you're doing. Big fella gonna be watching y'all, man. I'm gonna get some more film from some of your other players. I want to check it out. I'm gonna talk to Kevin Moses as well about you guys. I love it. So again, that's Tri-State Matrix. Nice. I appreciate that. I got it correct. Matthew Scheidler, the coach at, I'm assuming head coach at Tri-State Matrix. There you go. Like full support. I'm about the village. When I see a parent come on here speaking for a kid, when I see coaches come on here speaking for a kid, when I see their team, I've seen that. I've seen teammates come on speaking. I've seen other parents of their teammates speaking. That's when you know the kid has chosen the right village. And that's what it's going to take. That adds to the success. That adds to the way I'm going to rate the kid, because it tells me that you're in the right space. You're in the right space to nurture all of your talents, all of them. Good person, good athlete, good student. They're nurturing that. I know that the sky's the limit. So that's it. Like that just confirms what I already felt about Kate. So, but you guys are gonna get to see. I promise you, I'm gonna get him on the show, interview him. I want you guys to hear from his mouth and get to know the kid the way that I saw all the behind the scenes things happening. So I'll get him on here either next week or the week after that. We got the superstar Leilani Phillips coming up right now. Man, that was bad. So let's go. Leilani, how you doing? Wait a minute. If I don't get my earpiece on, I'm not going to be able to get you in. Hold on. It'll be all crazy on the mic. So let me get my earpiece in. Let that link up real quick. I did it all backwards today. Hold on. All right, there you go. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So I want everybody to see it before we get into it, and then you can tell me how you felt about it. Or you can just tell me, like, so how'd you feel about making the cover?
It was very nice. I was very shocked about how many people saw it. I really liked the photo. I'm
gonna let everybody see it. I'm gonna let them see it real quick. So for you guys that didn't, again, you can always go get the copy for Triumph. She made the cover. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a great job. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely. I liked the article and everything about it. How has things been with your play and your teams? Because you're like super supportive. Whenever I go back and look through any of your comments, you're like you'll put up your highlights, but you always talk about how good your team is doing. And I think that's like it's just a great part of being who you are. So tell us about your team.
We actually did really good in league this year. We placed second in league. And then we just did a tournament called Surf Cup last weekend. And we played all these teams that are ECRL, so it's technically higher than us, and we beat them all, and we didn't lose that weekend.
Okay,
there were a lot of college.
That's the goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So winning something like that, does that increase the national ranking of your team?
I don't think so, but it helps show college coaches, because a lot of college coaches think that ECRL is higher than E64. Because that's always been what's said. But because we beat them, it kind of showed them that we can still like compete with that level. Okay.
So question, because Complete College Prospect has been on the thing of explaining to people that, the whole point is to break up the tradition. For most sports, it's 24/7 sports and things like that. The certain ESPN, they're all tied together, and so they tend to rank athletes in different sports, but leave out the majority of athletes that are out there, and it's hard to get in there. And so Complete College Prospects have been trying to break that up and make it where every kid can be seen. So when you just said what you said, that it kind of made me think of that, which is everyone thinks one thing is better than another, but that's not true, right? Y'all got talent in all of these leagues, right?
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be in one and then and know that the quality, not just your team, the quality of the other teams in your league are really good, do you guys ever feel like you're being overlooked just because you're not in another league?
Sometimes yes, because other coaches sometimes if they don't see the words ECNL or ECRL, they'll think that you're playing at a lower level when you're not, and you could be just as good as those players, if not better. Because just because it says ECNL doesn't mean that you're like the best of the best, but that's what's
Right.
always been like told. So
Right. So, and so I'm assuming that it tends to hurt scholarships as well, right?
because a lot of college coaches they'll commit ECNL players first because
Uh-huh.
ECNL has like so many more showcases and like they're just like more well known than other
Right.
leagues. So a lot of college coaches like tend to gravitate towards that league.
So then does it tend to be more expensive to play in a league like that?
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
more expensive.
Right. No, and it's not just soccer. Like it really, we hear it about baseball, we hear it about football, basketball, it doesn't matter. And I'm not against anybody making money. I'm not, but I think that a lot of kids that are extremely talented fall through the cracks just because of not being able to be in certain places. Sometimes it's just you don't have transportation. You could pay for it, but you don't have transportation to go everywhere you need to go, and that will hurt you. Um, when So then what do you think is the answer for kids that either cannot afford something like that or don't have a way to travel around and get where they need to go so that they don't fall through the crack?
I recommend doing a lot of emails to college coaches and like sending your highlights and really emphasizing when you do showcases because then they can come and see you in person. Because for ECNL, you're required to do like I think 2 or 3, but for other
Okay.
leagues, you're not required. So it's basically whatever you want to do, and depends on your team. Um, but I think just to email the coaches and make sure that you're emphasizing that, like basically showcasing what you can do and how you've been doing this season.
Okay. Have you found any? Because what at most at most soccer camps or events, what would you say the average amount of colleges that show up recruiters?
For the one that we just went to, there was like 200 plus colleges at all different levels. So
Okay.
that's why that one's really popular. So that's why we did it because a lot of college coaches tend to gravitate towards Surf Cup.
Okay. How was the event as a whole? Like, sometimes you go to a tournament and you're like, ooh, like this isn't run well. How was this weekend?
No, last weekend was really good.
Yeah.
I like the camaraderie. They have this board where if you're registered with the team, your name's on the board so you can take a
Uh-huh.
picture with it. And
Nice.
then they still have all this merch and stuff. And everyone's just like really helpful and like they give rides if your field's far away. It was just
Oh, that's awesome.
it's a really nice, well done event.
And where was it held at?
In Oceanside at SoCal
Okay.
Sports Complex.
Nice. What's the goal? So obviously you want to play in college. Olympic team? Why you saying so shy? Like, hey, you got to be bold out here. You know what I'm saying? You got to be bold.
Yeah, I want to do that.
I mean, for most soccer players, at least for most female soccer players, that has to be on board as one of those major accomplishments in the scope of everything that you do. One of the main reasons that you play. Would you say that?
Yes.
Because I mean, getting to the money, that's the way to get there. At least one way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you go to college, how do you feel? I know you're always on the show, so how do you feel about the roster limits?
I think it kind of hurts my class's recruitment a lot because and the 2025s, because a lot of college coaches are over the limit for like
Right.
D1s. And sometimes they're like, oh, we're not recruiting anyone and we don't want to sign anyone for 2026s because we still don't know what's going to happen. And then like 2025s have been decommitting because the coach is like, we don't have any room. So then now it's like you're on the later end of like going towards senior year.
Right.
Without knowing anything, because coaches are like, oh, well, we don't know if we're going to have room or if we're going to be like over the roster limit.
See, I was for, well, let's get with this one question. So the question was, so is there a pro league for female soccer players?
Yes.
Nice. So can you go pro right out of high school, or do you have to attend college first? That's what they're asking.
You can go pro right out of high school. There are currently like 5 girls that are doing that. But It's like you have to kind of know people so then you can get in front of those professional teams.
Right.
Or like you have to be on the USA U17 like national team or something. So like they know you can compete at that level.
So again, connected. You got to be connected to somebody, know somebody, do. Yeah. Now it sucks. It's sad. I'm not bucking the system. Having been a part of the system itself, I get it. I just think that there's a lot of people that get passed by that are amazing athletes. So you could go pro straight out of high school. If you make some of the national teams, you can get looked at. When it comes to the recruiting side of it, I wish they would have kept the roster limits to football only, because for softball, baseball, soccer, rowing, things like that, I think that it's definitely going to hurt. I've seen, I'm sure you've seen it, the number of young men and women that have had to decommit, or should I say not even decommit. It's the fact that they've received phone calls that said, hey, we don't have a spot, and now they're trying to find a home. And you're right. It's this year and next year is with the change is so crazy that it's definitely going to hurt your class. Like that thing is probably going to drag deep into the spring before coaches really get a handle on if they have space. What are you doing to prepare for that scenario?
I'm not only going for D1s, I'm looking at other levels too. So then if like, let's say like the D1s I want to go to don't have any room, like I have options that aren't D1s that I still think are pretty good schools. So then I'm not like stuck, oh, I only want to go D1 or something.
I mean, you do understand, like it does, like I'm happy that you're thinking like that. But like, if you have to take one of those other options for some weird reason, that you still have the option, like obviously to go up, like that. I think preparing yourself in that manner is the best way, because you don't get disappointed. You just know like, hey, I'm still there. Like I'm in, and now I could do other things. I think that over the next 5 years, we're going to see that high school recruitment is going to drop to almost zero, because the transfer portal is going to take over everything. And I just have a feeling that's, unless you're the top, let's go with the amount of schools. So let's say, hopefully, if you're in the top, let's just go 100 athletes in your sport, then yes, you're probably going to find a home. But outside of that, I truly believe that it's going to become a transfer. Like, coaches are going to start expecting athletes to go lower and earn that next level step. What is the average age of the actual players in college soccer for females? Like, is it so like football and basketball? Well, basketball is tricky. Basketball is like 19. Football is actually like 20 to 22. And so, it's better for athletes to be held back and do other things in order to be ready. What about soccer?
I actually don't know. I've never looked that up because normally a lot of kids just stay the 4 years, or sometimes they get injured and redshirt. So it
Uh-huh.
kind of just depends on the school. Because like I know one girl, like she stayed out of school for 6 years because of
Uh-huh.
like injuries and redshirt and COVID and all that stuff. And then I know people that only stayed for 2 years because they got offered to go professional.
Okay. So you're ready for it all, whatever happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, your grades are great, so I know you're not worried about that part. You know, no doubt you'll get a degree, um, but you're ready for all the little ins and outs that can happen because injuries happen. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Injuries happen, politics happen. You know, and sometimes you got to wait for your moment. The goal is pro, though, right? Like
Yeah.
that's your goal. Like is to like make a living, building your life around being a professional athlete.
Yes.
Okay. I ask it because for some people, they play the sport as a way to get to a place, and that's okay too. I would tell any athlete if someone's willing to offer you a scholarship to go play a sport, whether you want to be a pro or not, use it to get an education at the minimum. And that's okay too. So when hearing that being a pro is the goal, talk to us about what you do when no one's watching. What is the type of day in the life of Leilani outside of practice?
Um, like, are you talking about like off season or like in between high school and club?
Let's go because there's a point where they almost overlap, right?
Yeah, because like
So
there's like
give
a good 2 to 3 weeks where it's like you do double practice
right.
stuff.
So give us that day. So give us a day in the life when it overlaps because that's the difference between the young men and women that are going to excel and that are not. Because there's some people that, and you probably know some that they're like, well, no, I'm doing this one and I'll get in this one a little later. You know, they don't want to do the extra work. So give us a day in the life of the double duty.
Usually we have school for an away game because we did a scrimmage and we had an away game at Paramount, so we had to go to the game at 4:30, and then after that I had to rush to practice, which was in Torrance, and that was at 7:30. And then I had to go home and do homework and then do treatment on my legs
Yeah.
and then basically do it all over again the next day.
No, so there's young girls out there that watch the show that are like, right now they're just playing on one team. They don't have a school team. They just have their club team. And they need to know, like, when you get to this elevated level, what it's going to take and what people expect of you and how hard it can be. Because like you said, you still have to do your schoolwork. You still have to. So if you have to travel, how does your school day work?
So it depends on what time JV plays. Because if it's a home game, then we don't get out until like after fifth period. So then we don't have to miss any class and we get to watch the first half of JV. If it's an away game, usually JV plays at 3 o'clock or 3:30. So then we're usually leaving around fourth period or like halfway through fourth, and then we take the bus, and then we have to watch JV, and then we change, and then we play our game, and then after our game ends, it's usually like 7, like 6:30, and then depending on where we are, we have to take the bus back to the school, or you can't
Right.
be eligible to play. And
Right.
then I usually get home around like 8 o'clock, and then do homework and eat.
So on a typical night, let's go mid, not easy night, not a hard night. How much homework are we talking? Like in time, hours or whatever that you have to work on it.
Usually I do most of my homework in class because I don't want to do it at home. So that I
Right.
can
That's
have
okay.
more free time. But usually it's like maybe an hour or two. During finals week, I've had a lot more because my finals have been early. But other than
So
that,
you're talking getting home 7 or 8, putting in an hour, maybe 2, 9, 10 o'clock, and then hoping to have a little free time before you got to go to sleep, get up. What time you got to get up and go to school?
School starts at 8:30. I usually leave around 8. So I get up at 7.
Okay. So for the most part, if in the crossover time, your day is a full 25, 26 hour day.
Yeah.
Well, not, yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, no, like, I'm sorry, like 13 hours.
Yeah.
Like 13 hours, 13, 14 hour
13,
day.
14 hour, yeah.
Right. So like, you know, and that's, again, that's a different type of commitment because it does make for having less free time. And so does that ever stress you?
No, I don't. I think I just kind of gotten used to the schedule. So if anything, it's become like more fun because I get to talk to my teammates and stuff in my free time, like in between, like when we watch JV, we'll have conversations, or like on the bus ride back, we'll have conversations and stuff. So that's kind of like our free time in between the games and like the warm-ups and all that stuff.
We had Kendra Harris on here. She said, good luck. She was a goalie. She's like, the games are long. Getting back late is hard to study, but keep up the great work. So this is why I say it's important that, like, we don't want to just interview you and only say, oh, my God, yeah, you're so great at the sport, and talk about, you know, things that are important but superficial. You know, again, there's someone out there that's looking up to you being on the show and getting information from you. And so it's important that we show them that there is work to this and that the dedication, because again, you're talking about during double duty times, the day's even longer. So you're talking your regular day, you're talking about giving up 14, 15 hours of that day every day for 5 days. And then, well, no, not just for 5 days, because then you still might do something on the weekend for your club team, right?
Well, not now, but before, yeah, because the weekend is Surf Cup. We had games that week, and then I had to go do double practice, and then I had games, 3 games. I had a game each day for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But then after that was the last club thing I did. So now we don't have to do anything until I think around March next year.
Okay.
Because they give us like a club break for high school because they said it's too much to do like both at the same time.
Okay. All right. Kendra corrected that. So Caden was a goalie. They messed that up, but Caden was a goalie. All right. Now we can get into some of the fun, superficial stuff. So looking at the cover, no modeling, no consideration of modeling, none of that.
No.
Why not? Like, I mean, that thing was seen by a lot, like thousands of people. So, like, I mean, there it is. What you're super embarrassed by it.
I'm not embarrassed. It's just like I'm not used to like just like my face being like right there. So I'm not used to like modeling and all that stuff. I like taking pictures, but
you should give it some consideration. I mean, there's a lot of young men and women that you know, play, whether it's soccer and all of that's just that extra thing. Because again, you can't, no matter how great you are, sports isn't forever. You know, sadly, sports tends, well, soccer, you could go, like, soccer's different. Soccer, you could play for a long time. Because Megan played, how old was Megan when she retired?
well, like I think well into her 30s or
Yeah.
Almost 40s, I think.
Yeah. No. Like, so that's a pretty good clip of time, you know. So but still, you want to do some other things. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you should give it some consideration. What about acting? No? Okay. All right. So give me your, I'm heading to the field. Get ready for practice. What are you playing?
Lately, I've been on this, like, I call it childhood, like, songs, because I remember a lot of these songs from my childhood, and they're like 2010 songs.
Okay.
Like a lot of Katy Perry and
That's all right.
Justin Timberlake. Who else? And then we'll get a little Bruno Mars in there.
Okay. So you like to keep it a little, well, not mellow, but up tempo, but not too much. Just kind of in that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the goal as you finish out this school year, getting ready for spring? At the end of the school year, what is it that you want to know that has been accomplished? Whether it's you think you know where you're committing, whatever. What's the goal?
My goal is to at least be on like good talking terms with multiple schools, because I'm on good talking terms with a couple, but I would like to have like more options and to not just like shut my options down to just these like couple schools that I'm already talking to.
Absolutely.
So then I'm not like, oh, just because I got this offer first, I'm not like, oh, I want to go there, and I also want to try and be committed by spring. So that's one of my goals.
That's big. I mean, that's big. You know what I'm saying? To be committed by spring. I will say this. I always tell every athlete, never forget the one that came first. The one that came first is the one that saw your talent first and said, we got to have him or her. Doesn't mean that you take that one, but always remember that the one that came first was the one that literally said, no, we need her, and that deserves something, and it's not just you. Like I said, I would tell any athlete that. I don't care who they are. I don't care what sport they play. I don't care what level the school is. There's something to be said for, I mean, think about it. If you were dating and the person that wanted to talk to you went to your friend first and then came to you, you look at it some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? There's something to be said for sure about a school, a coach that has looked at you and just said, like I said, they shot their shot. It does not mean that you're going to go there. It doesn't mean anything. But always remember those coaches that you're talking to, absolutely 100, right? Remember who saw you first. Facts. It's important. I think a lot of athletes don't, because it's not the school that they may necessarily want. And then sometimes the school that you want will come, but they don't want you the way that you wanted them. They want you from a perspective of, we like her at this, but we might try her at that, and then see how she fits. But we also are going after all these other people as well. So just remember that. Like again, just remember that in the recruiting process. So always keep all doors open. I think you're thinking of it in the correct manner. Keep all doors open until you make a decision. The one thing I hate, let me say that on here for all you athletes out there. The one thing I hate is when you say, well, I'm down to my 5 schools that are my favorite, and this is what I'm going to do. Don't do that. Don't do that. Respect them all. And then when it's time, you just make a decision. You don't have to break it down to my top 5. You don't have to do any of that. I want everybody to, because sometimes them recruiting you, like there's some school that when they're recruiting Leilani, that is going to help them get this other young woman who knows you and played against you and is like, whether you go there or not, she's like, yo, if they wanted her, then this is the right school for me, And so I think it helps on both ends. And it makes you that, because again, if say something falls apart because of the cap, it leaves the door open for you that you didn't close. Okay? For you soccer players, softball players, baseball players, I cannot stress this enough. This cap is terrible for you guys. Like it is there. It's not like your team is deep. Football is going to be 105 players. Like only 22 can play. You know what I'm saying? Like they can do that. Basketball is only 15. So like those lower numbers are it's going to be all bad. So keep every door open. So you're doing it perfect. Like you are doing it perfect. Like you said, I want to keep not just the ones, and that's fair too. Like it's, doing it the way you're doing it, you're putting everybody on notice. Like, I appreciate what you're giving me, but understand that I'm still willing to talk to other people. But I'm not going with you. You said that beautifully. And I like that. And I know your coaches that are recruiting you and that like you or that's looking at you, they're gonna love it too. And just keep that same outlook on it. And I think it'll turn out great. I already know Complete College Prospect has your back regardless. So they're going to help you with whatever you need. I'm going to help you. Like, come on. Like I love everything you're doing. So if you ever need information, you just hit me up. I got you. But I think you're on the right track. And I think if you just keep your head focused, I think it's all going to turn out for you. Did you go to homecoming this year?
Yes, I actually did.
How was it?
It was very nice. We got Habit and we got to watch a movie at homecoming if you wanted to. And the music was really nice.
Okay. So nothing wild. You just had a great time.
Yeah.
So are we doing prom?
I don't know yet. We have a winter formal before that. So I don't know.
Really? You know how that is so old fashioned. Most schools don't even do that anymore. So when is that, before break?
It's in February, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
so you're doing that.
LA.
That's nice. Okay. Really? Wow. That's like somebody in the Midwest telling me they're doing a Sadie Hawkins dance. You know what I'm saying? Like that, people don't do it that much anymore. Like you definitely don't see that here in Vegas. There's no winter forms. So I like that though. I really do. I like that. So is it as dressy as prom, or is it more laid back like homecoming?
It kind of depends on what you want to do. It's like you can go more laid back, but most people go more dressy for winter formal. Okay. Because it's the formal part, I guess, that they like.
Okay. No, that I love it. I love it. Like that is awesome. You know what I'm saying? You guys work hard, you should get to play hard. Like that's just how I feel about it. As students, you go to work every day. You deserve all the fun that you can. Especially when the school can hold it. You guys are safe. And so like I love it. Like that's amazing. LA, keep doing good work, man. Yeah. I like that. I love that. I do. I really do, man. I wish more states would keep things like that up. I really do. And it just doesn't happen. So do you already know who you're going to go with?
I haven't even bought my ticket yet.
Okay. I don't want to put you on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Cool. Man, I love having you on the show. You have an open invitation. You just hit me up whenever you want to come back. I'll have you on the show. You know what I'm saying? You could co-host this show with me if you want to. I'll have you on. I'm serious. I am serious. Like you're very well spoken. I love that you have fun with it, the laughter, everything. Like I do. You know what I'm saying? Even though you're nervous, I can tell that you're comfortable. So absolutely, I'm telling you, hit me up. Let's do it. I'll have you help me co-host one day.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate having you on the show, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. You're welcome. All right, man. Welcome back. That was Leilani Phillips. Great young woman, great athlete. Definitely got a bright future. I'm excited, like I said, about the direction everything's going to go for her. Let's get into this Las Vegas Lights ad for the youth football program out here in Las Vegas that is sponsored by the Who's Up Next show and your boy, the big fella, as well as Complete College Prospect. Let's go. Hey, the same way that you guys saw, and I'm gonna put it up again. Leilani on the cover of Tropia magazine. The new edition of Tropia magazine is being released on Christmas Eve this month. I know that currently they are still looking for athletes to showcase in the magazine. Go over to CC Prospects 23 at X. Tropia magazine 23, I think, is what it is at X. You can even put your information here on the Who's Up Next show. And the real Who's Up Next show. I swear that's what the X is for me. You can put it over there. I'll get the information over. I know they're looking. They're going to announce the cover here in I think it's like 2 weeks. But I swear they're looking for like 6 or 7 more athletes. I know that they have 1, 2. I think they're looking for like another coach or educator as well. They're looking for a program, like an entire program, entire soccer program, football program, high school program to showcase in the magazine this time. They're looking for band for the music segment of it. Like they're looking for anybody that's in band. There's a bunch of stuff that they're still finalizing for this edition. So again, you can reach out here, you know what I'm saying, on the show. You can reach out at CC Prospects 23 at X. You can reach out at the Tropia magazine over at X, in the Who's Up Next show. Just the one that only has the big fella. That other account is a no-go. And if you're interested in getting on, man, there you go. Hey, take control of your own life. Like, no, I'm telling you, like Caden did, no different than Leilani did. Take the opportunity to get yourself put on and do what you have to do. It's on you. Hey, we're about to get into AJ Campbell out here in Las Vegas, quarterback. This young man, I'm not going to grade him until after I'm done watching the film. I've had the pleasure of watching this young man over a couple of years. I know when he played other positions at a different high school and was trying to be a quarterback, and they just weren't giving him an opportunity to do his thing. He didn't accept that. He didn't accept he was at a top tier school here, and he didn't accept no for an answer. He went somewhere else, had a great season, and now he's trying to find a home for college, of course. Coaches, I get it. The young man is all, he's really only been on the scene as a QB for a year. I don't think you will regret giving this young man an opportunity. I enjoyed the film. I can see where the talent is. I can see where the decision-making is. And I think that if you give him a home, is he going to be a day one starter? No. But I think that he's got the potential to take your team deep in a playoff situation, if not to a title. If he gets the opportunity and then you nurture all of his capabilities, I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised. But hey, AJ Campbell.
What's up, y'all? I'm Andrew, AJ Campbell, class of 25 quarterback out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I attended Spokane High School for my senior year.
Dark nights, haunted by the shadows, kingdom crumbles, feet stumble through the shallows. Once whispered promises, echoes in the alley. Hearts war, torn apart constantly, dally. Strength ain't something I was born with, weakness in my bones. Dragging like a monolith, daydreams, future cleans love in the labyrinth. Cause when you needed me, all I gave was absent. Used to be a star, but I'm a mountain now. Eagles in my face, phoenix in the bow. Ready for the storm, let the thunder growl. When things get tough, I'm here to take the vow. Clenched fists, punching mirrors in the attic. Looking at myself, scars creating static. Other side of the glass, promises were erratic. Missed the mark before, but now I'm automatic. Reforged amidst the chaos, strength and resurrection. From ashes made a new past, weakness my confession. Struggles built a fortress, no longer apprehension. Power flowing through like an iron-flooded engine. Used to be a star, but I'm a mountain now. Eagles in my veins, phoenix in the bow. Ready for the storm, let the thunder growl. When things get tough, I'm here to take the vow.
Welcome back. That was AJ Campbell, Sloan Canyon, out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Great. He's decent size. I swear he's like 6'2", 6'1", 6'2". Like I want to say 200. Here's what I'm gonna give you, right? In comparison, the one thing that I really like about AJ is he is willing to get the ball off and just let his guys go get it. He has some trust in his receivers. Obviously everybody knows my kid plays QB. They're the same class. My son has a different skill set. And the one thing that I always yell at him about is trusting his receivers and just getting the ball out. And AJ does that in an excellent way. And that's why he takes less hits. And he trusts in the receivers to do what they have to do, but he can read whether or not they're going to do it. You saw him, look at a route. His first option, he went to throw it. It wasn't there. He didn't throw it. He checked his second option. It wasn't there. He didn't throw it. He went ahead and took off with the ball. But you also saw that immediately on the snap, if he can tell that his guy's going to make the right decision on route, ball's gone, and I love that, right? I absolutely love that. You can't even go to his school without good grades. They don't even accept everybody. It's a process to even get into the school. So if you go to that school, I already know your grades are good. Like that's just how that works over there. Let's see. AJ is a dog, great leader for the young guys. Facts. Like I said, I've had a chance to personally watch the kid his freshman year, and then now watching this film now. I'm happy that he stuck with it. I think that the school, I'm just going to say it, Liberty, you're an idiot. I think that it was great that he didn't care. It's stupid for him to have accepted anything else. You could clearly see that in the film, that the quarterback mentality is there, and that if he had had the full 4 years to be able to be at a school that appreciated him and let him play, that he would, the film would just look even better, So I'm telling you right now, I think that his potential in college, like I said, I got to base it on day one. So for me, he's going to get 3 gorillas, and I'll explain why. He's going to get 3 gorillas because he's on the rise. Now, that being said, I believe that if you give him the chance and you coach him up and you allow all of his talents to show themselves, he was mobile in the pocket. He didn't just leave. And I can name off, look, I'm a jerk. I'll name off a bunch of quarterbacks in Vegas right now that as soon as the ball touches their hand, they're off to the races in the wrong direction. I know guys that have more negative yards at QB than positive yards rushing because they run backwards every time. That's not this kid. He stays in the pocket. He's committed to doing what he has to do, but he also showed you that he can be mobile when he needs to, and he's not going to just get you 1 or 2 yards. He's a big body. He's going to get you what you need. So conversions, that's going to be done. Red zone, that's going to be done. One guy's not taking this young man down, and for that, I think that the potential in like sophomore year, junior year of college, 4 gorillas. 4 gorillas for sure. That's my honest opinion on that. That's hands down. The young man's talented, man. Arm strength was there. Ball placement was there. Decision making was there. Footwork was there. And from a talent perspective around him, what you have to understand is this is a school that had just opened up. Not like I know who the coach was there last year. Because I swear it's Sloan Canyon Pinecrest. So most of their kids some of those kids haven't even played football long, and he was still able to do what he did. So that's where I'm at with that young man. I love the film. Keep doing what you're doing, AJ. if there's anything that the big fella could do, you know, I got you, bro. I'm, you know, help make sure that this is seen. A lot of coaches watch the show. They definitely run the film back after. There's been athletes that have gotten offers and made commitments from coaches seeing their film on the show. So there you go. I'm with it. I'm liking it, man. I'm liking it. His potential, his upside is great. All he needs is a chance. That's it. Coaches, all he needs is a chance. I get it. He ain't D1s. We ain't talking to you. This ain't for you. But everybody else, D1 coaches, 2 years. The right program coaches my man up 2 years. He'll be ready for you. He'll be ready to take your team to a solid run for sure. There you go. All right, man. Let's go. So we had AJ. Hey, the CCP Network. Let's go.
What we're living in, let me tell ya. And it's a world that man can eat at all. When things are big, that should be small. Who can tell what magic spells we'll be doing for us? And I'm giving all my love to this world, only to be told I can't see, I can't breathe, no, my will will be. And nothing's gonna change the way we live, 'cause we can always take but never give. And now the things are changing for the worse. See, whoa, it's a crazy world we're living in, and I just can't see that half of us immersed in sin is all we have to give these futures made of virtual insanity. Now always seem to be governed by this love we have for you.
Yep. All right. Next highlight is going to be Sam Bordeaux. Not Bordeaux, Cubido. Sam, if I messed your name up, you hear it all the time on this show. The big fella ain't great with names, bro. Film is nice, though. Film is nice. Let's get into Sam. And, yo, so Sam, I'm going to tell you after we show his film.
I'm Quibido. I'm a guard, and I go to Pensacola Catholic High School in Pensacola, Florida.
Taking one last drive down Main, might as well be memory lane. Turn it up for old time's sake. Taking one last drive down Main. Life back in the Chevrolet. Every corner I see your face. Two hearts break, only one can stay. Taking one last drive down Main. Pedal down anywhere but here. County line in Nashville, I don't care. No brakes to the moon, long as you're not there. You're not there, you're not there. When did it all go south? Wish I could hate this town. It turns out that it's just not big enough for the both of us. So I'm just taking one last drive down Main. Might as well be memory lane. Turn it up for old time's sake. Taking one last drive down Main. Life back in the Chevrolet. Every corner I see your face. Two hearts break, only one can stay. Taking one last drive down Main. Yeah, I can see it now. You'll hit the bar, catch a buzz off a couple drinks. Tell your friends you'll be just fine without me. But I'll be there in your mind when you fall asleep. Bet you dream, I bet you dream about me and you making out in the driveway. Now it's all rear view behind me. And baby, somehow we got sideways. So before I hit that highway.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Look, it's funny, right? So this is the comment that came up. E-Money Jules, white chocolate. I'm going to tell you why. You're going to see why that's so funny, E-Money. You're going to see why that's so funny, right? So, hold up. AJ Campbell, I appreciate it, Coach. Hey, look, bruh. AJ, I appreciate you, my guy. Again, I do. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate the drive and the dedication. But then what I appreciate most is you fought for it. And when you got it, you showed that you should have had it. That's the things. I know kids right now, everybody want to be quarterback. I know kids right now that said they thought they could play the position And then when they got the opportunity, they just weren't good at it. You know what I'm saying? So no coach could ever put them on the field. Like they never got a shot because in practice when they got a shot, it was terrible. Like you got to actually be a quarterback to at least like, you know what I'm saying, to do what you do. And so I appreciate that the skill set was there because again, I saw you. Obviously, your freshman year you didn't get to do it, but in the spring of your freshman year when you got your shot, I saw it. I could see what was there, and I like that. I liked everything I saw, and I'm very happy that you stuck with it, my guy. I'm very happy. I think you're going to be happy too. I think you're going to be happy. It's going to just stay patient. Remember that only D1 early was messing around this month. You got time. February is signing day, and most of the guys just got out of playoffs, especially at the NAIA level, JUCO 2 and 3. So I think you're going to end up just fine, my guy. I think you'll end up just fine. If you got any concerns, though, reach out to me. Who's up next show on X, and I'll see what I can do. All right, brother. Let's go. Let's see. I know what you were thinking. Nah, bro, not yet. You'll see it in a second. Hold on. So let me tell you what I had about Sam, right? So Sam's intro and promo comes through. They record it, right? And before it goes to marketing, over at 180 Elite Marketing, I get a chance to see it. So I'm looking at the film and I'm like, oh my God. Oh, he's super nervous. He's super quiet. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be all right. I haven't seen the film yet, right? So I'm like, if the film is like this, if he's this same person, I'm not going to be able to put that on the show. Like I'm at to send a message to Kevin. We in the same network under CCP. So I'm like, I'm at to send a message and be like, yo, I can't do it for him. Right. I get the film and I'm like, who the hell is this kid? I'm looking at the film and I'm like, I had to go back and look at his intro and promo and then back to the film and then back over here. And I'm like, even when the clip came together and I'm looking at his intro to the film, I'm like, that's not the same kid. You know what? I'll take it though. I'll take a mild-mannered Clark Kent when he's in front of a camera to Superman when he's on the court. Like because that's where it matters. He allows his game to speak for itself because obviously you saw what I saw, Sam quiet. You know what I'm saying? But his film, Sam nice, man. Sam is nice. Sam is I'm not even gonna go look at his age. So let's say Sam. Sam. Because I know who's coming up behind you, Sam. Nah, Sam's still 4. Sam 4 gorillas. I can see where it's at. Defense, offense. I can see where it's at. I can see where it's at. 4 gorillas. I think. Let's check it, man. But I have to. Let's check something. Yeah. He 26. He class of 26. Let's go 4 gorillas. Now, I want to see how the film looks after this season, though. Because the only other thing that I would like to see a little bit more of is the defensive side of the ball. I think that's the only thing that has me right between the 3 and the 4. I'm going to roll with the 4, but I think that I need to, like, if the defense is there too, I think it's a complete 4. You're aggressive to the rim. You know what I'm saying? You mid-range is tough. You're willing to go straight at a defender. And so I like that. You're extremely aggressive and you're extremely fluid with the ball. So I feel comfortable with the 4. But I'd like to see the defense and see how cleaned up that is, and like if it's really buttoned up. But yeah, man, shoot me your film. Let's see let's see how that all shakes out, bro. But I think 4 gorillas is rocking. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it was crazy to see his. I wish I had put up the original. Like, I don't want to embarrass him and stuff, but I wish I had put up the original of his what he sent in. because my man is just like, he is very like monotone and just like shy, you know what I'm saying? And then he is not shy when he hits the hardwood at all. Like, so I love it. I love it, man. Keep doing what you do, Sam, bro. Hey, remember, like and share, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel, whatever, so you ain't missing none of these. This is, look, a surefire way to get noticed and get on with like Trapine Magazine and be featured in a magazine, things like that, or stuff with Complete College Prospect. If you could get over here on the show, it's a way in. You know what I'm saying? That's a way in for sure. So let's go. Hey, E-Money, this is the one I was telling you about, right? This is why it's going to be funny. This next young man, right? The second, and I mean the second that I watched this film, I just stopped it and went and looked at some other film and was like, yo, this kid reminds me of this guy, hands down. So it's funny, Money Jules. I think you're about to change that and move it over to this one, right? I think that, don't get me wrong, Sam plays similar, but this next kid is like, it's a more polished thing, right? Jake Harrison, he's super cocky when he sends out his film and his approach, and it's rightfully so, right? Rightfully so across the board. Love everything that you're about to see. I immediately had to go get white chocolate and be like, yo, comparison, and add it to the show. So this is the first time ever on the Who's Up Next show, ever, that I put up a comparison, because I don't like to do that to a kid and set the expectation so high. For most of you guys that don't know who Jay Will is, Jason Williams, yo, you're about to find out, and then you're going to take a look at Jake Harrison, and I'll let y'all see what the comparison is. Hey, first time ever, comparison alert.
I came to bring the pain, hardcore from the brain. Let's go inside my astral plane, find out my mental, based on instrumental records. Hey, so I can write monumental methods. I'm not the king, but this is decaf. I stick 'em for the cream. Check it, just how deep can get. Deep as the abyss, and brothers is mad fish, accept it. In your cross color, clothes you crossed over. Think I totally crossed out and crisscrossed. Who the boss? Get tossed to the side, and I'm the dark side of the force. Of course it's the method, man from the Wu-Tang Clan. I be hectic and coming for the headpiece, protect it. 2 tears in a bucket. You want the ruckus, bustin' at me, bro? Now bust it. Styles like it's buck wow. Method man on pulling valves. I'm sick, insane, crazy, driving Miss Daisy out of fucking mind. Now I got mine, I'm swayed. Is it real, son? Is it really real, son?
All right, everybody, that's Jay Will. Here comes Jake Harrison.
Hey, I'm Jake Harrison, point guard number 5 at Amory Christian Academy.
If you want it, you can have it. All you gotta do is just reach out and grab it. If you want it, you can have it. All you got to do is just reach right out and grab it. Step on up, step into your power. Step on up, step into your power, child. Step on up, step into your power. Step on up, step into your power, child. Now listen to me. All you need, you already own. It was given to you on the day that you were born. Anything that your heart can dream.
What? Soon as I saw his film, court vision, check. Aggressive to the hole, check. Defense, check. Mid-range, check. Floater, check. Both sides of the hoop, left and right, check. My man is just it's all there, right? It's all there. Hey, I tried to tell you, my guy. I tried to tell you, right? It's the first time that's ever happened on this show where I saw a kid and immediately thought of someone else, like immediately, and had to go get it. The similarities, it's because of that, right? Because of what I saw with him, because of that, because of his ability on defense to be aggressive, whether the ball's on the ground, you know what I'm saying? Whether you got the ball and you're dribbling, he can steal it. If you're trying to go up, he can swat it. You know what I'm saying? My only thing that's different, Jay Will was dunking, right? But then I saw one block and I saw the height that this kid got. And I was like, he might not be able to dunk yet, but the potential is there with the right training and everything else. I don't know if he could dunk at all, but I think it's there. He got enough bounce for it, right? So for me, this kid, 5 gorillas, bro. Like, it's funny, right? Yo, that's another Kevin Moses, man. There you go, right? I got to go 5 gorillas, and here's why. It's the potential for what he, like, his max ability hasn't even been unlocked, right? When it's all done, again, I rate you what I think college is going to look like. That's what it is, based on where you are now. If I get your film as a freshman, 8th grade, whatever, I'm going to base it on from where you are now to what the potential is to get there. If you're a 2 or a 1, I'm not going to put you on the show. If it all just keeps moving in the right direction, that kid's going to be dangerous in college. He's not intimidated by you no matter how tall you are. He's not intimidated by you no matter how fast you are. He's fluid in all of his motions. He went behind the back to go to the rim. He could have passed that. He looked off where the pass was and pulled it back and just said, "No, I'm going to take it," and kept rolling to the hole. But behind the back, the defender knew he saw his teammate. And so the defender stepped to try to stop the pass. He just brought it back and was like, "No, I'm going to go ahead and take this to the hole." The kid's really good. You know what I'm saying? The kid, and he has the personality to match it, right? If you just go to his X account, you'll see what I'm saying. Like, he definitely gives me Jay Will vibes. I definitely think that potential is there. I hope that you finish that thing out and do that. Keep grinding, keep working. Get in the weight room. I think you definitely have the ability to go ahead and punch it if you're not already punching it. Jay Will wasn't like murderous when it came to, or like some of the kids that Kev has sent over that I put on earlier. He wasn't that, but he could get up there, Steph Curry style. You know what I'm saying? They get up there, put it in, whatever. Hey, bro, your potential is nice, man. I'm excited about it for sure. Yeah, man. Hey, how old is that kid, man? Hold on. Let me see something real quick. I'm telling you, like his let's I swear Jake is boom. Let's see what. Oh no, he's 25. So yeah. Jake cool. Like, yeah, we good then. We're rocking. Yeah. We're good. I think that reasonably, is it gonna be like Kentucky or that kind of thing? No. I think you'd be fine at Weber. I think you'd be I think the Ivy League schools, should you jump into the pool of the top echelons of it in college right away? Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the potential for that, but don't do that. I think that if you go, thankfully the transfer portal, there's no punishments. So I think that if you go mid-level in college, I think you're going to be just fine. Go mid-level and then bounce up. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to the Wolves right away. I think you got to get some strength, and then it's going to be rocking. But at the high school level, you're a monster, bro. I'll put you on any high school team, and I think you're going to dominate things. That's facts. Like, I don't care who it is, where they are in the country. I don't care what race the team is. I don't care what part of the country it is. I think if we drop you in there, that you're going to mesh right away, and that every team is going to respect your potential right away. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel comfortable with the 5 gorillas for sure. But yeah, I don't care if the offer comes. Even if the offer comes, don't jump up here. There's no reason for that. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be over here to go pro. So go mid, get your strength up, or get your strength up right now. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, but I think if you get your strength up just to put your body in between you and the defender when it's time to get on those layups, because you got a lot of the finesse, but a powerful guy is definitely batting that. So let's not have that happen. Outside of that, bro, I loved it. You know what I'm saying? I loved it for sure. Yeah, man. Hey, I didn't get into a lot of CCP things on the show today. You know what I'm saying? I always want to do it. CCP's taking a new path. Like they're obviously they're going to keep rocking with allowing athletes to sign up for Complete College Prospect by themselves and becoming Complete College Prospect athletes on their own. But they wanted to not leave people behind. So I know that the new way that Complete College Prospect is going is with a school price, same thing that they do with the colleges. Annual price to cover the entire sports body of your school. So Huddle, NCSA, everybody charges a fee to college coaches. Everybody. The NCAA requires certain things. It's a universal, like you have to have one form that's universal, no matter the student athlete, no matter the school that is given to the NCAA. That's how certification works. NAIA as well, JUCO, all that stuff. Complete College Prospect now has their thing together that's going out to all of the high schools, all of the youth programs. It's the same package that's with the colleges because it doesn't cost much. But one price covers the entire school, the whole student body. So with college coaches, when they want to recruit, when they come to Complete College Prospect, they pay one fee. And then it doesn't matter if it's the volleyball coach, the wrestling coach, if it's an athlete that they need to look up, or that they want information on, they could just ask CCP. CCP reaches out to the athlete and then accumulates all the information and puts a dossier together for the school. And that way they're ready in the recruiting process. So they're going to do the same thing with high schools and youth programs. One price covers the entire school, right? It's minimal. I think it's like $1,200 a year for the school. So think about it. If you got 200 athletes, it's $5 an athlete. And it covers the entire school. All the teams can fundraise and get that together, and it covers the entire school for the year. So it doesn't matter what sport you play; they create a dossier for every athlete for their college recruiting. That takes it out of when it's one athlete. I mean, Complete College Prospect price is the lowest out there anyway, but that allows for an entire student body to do the thing. It just does. If someone in band wants to have a dossier put together for themselves in order to get a scholarship to be in band at a university, if your school has that annual contract with CCP, you can send over all the information that's in the recruitment packet. CCP is going to put it all together, and then now you have your recruitment dossier ready to go for all recruiters. So that it's just a click of a button, and then your school will have that same dossier available for every single athlete in the school in order to have them ready to go when it comes to recruitment. So that is the new addition to Complete College Prospect. It's the thing that separates them from everybody else. Or should I say one of them outside of the 14 brands under the network of CCP. That's how a lot of these athletes are getting on the show. It used to be a little bit more difficult to get on here, but Kevin Moses sent over a list. He's in the network of companies. So then he sent over a list, and we just run through the list of adding his players into the highlight series. Trapium, CCP, different coaches. Your high school coach might recommend you. That gets you in. You have a membership with CCP, you definitely getting on. You know what I'm saying? The magazine's even tougher to get in. But that's how you do it. But with Complete College Prospect taking this new route, it becomes one of those things where, your school may add, like I said, I think it worked out where if it was like 220 athletes, it was $5 an athlete. But if you think about it with your school, if you add in your baseball, basketball, football, wrestling, and all that, it might be $1. It might be 50 cents an athlete. That one price at your school or with your club team covers everybody, the entire team for one price. And that is definitely unique to Complete College Prospect outside of the many other things. So there you go. I threw it out there. I'll take care of all the business. Look, if you're like I said before, I know Trapine Magazine is in about 2 weeks. They're announcing the cover. I know that they're looking for other athletes to put in the magazine. Again, go to Trapine Magazine over. It's like Real Trapine or Trapine Magazine on X. You could put your name in at the Who's Up Next Show 23 at X. But the number one thing you do, CC Prospects 23, that's going to get you through to everybody, me, the magazine, everybody. Kevin Moses is over there. He's in the like the middle of the East Coast, like mid. I want to say like the South Carolina down area. I might have that wrong. I know he watches the show. He'll put it out there. We got Northeast Oklahoma Sports. They out there in Oklahoma, Texas, whatever, Utah high school sports, high school football and stuff like that. You can link up with them. We'll get your information. There's just so many ways to get in with 14 companies being under the umbrella of Complete College Prospects. So, but I know that they're looking for athletes to showcase in the magazine that comes out Christmas Eve. Again, I think they're looking for one more program, an entire program. Like I said, whether it's a youth program, whether it's a high school soccer, football, softball, baseball, wrestling, band, they're looking for, because, you know, the magazine covers fashion and food and music and sports and educators. So if you know somebody you want to put in for it, please throw them out there. Go to CC Prospects 23, put them in there. Take advantage of the opportunity to get exposure because it's hard to get. Not everybody's offering it. And they definitely ain't offering it at the level that's Complete College Prospect does. That's just the fact for all of us that are in the umbrella. So if you like, it's hard to get on a podcast. It's hard to get in a magazine. You saw what Leilani said. The magazine was averaging 10,000 views of the magazine a day. A day. There are more people in the world that know about Leilani Phillips now than probably have ever known about her. And rightfully so. She's deserving of it. And there you go. You know, like that. And it's seen everywhere globally. The Complete College Prospect has athletes in Australia, Canada, Africa, Europe, all over the place. So again, get in there, send your stuff. Being a member makes it the easiest way, but even if you're not, send it. Complete College Prospect will help you. Like they just don't care. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to help you get a chance to be over here and do the things that you need to do, be on the magazine, whatever. But I do know that they're looking for more people to put in this edition. So if you're interested and you want to get your name out there and you want to do whatever and be able to show whatever to promote yourself, reach out. If you do it, cool. If you don't, cool. But I know as a brand with Complete College Prospect and the Who's Up Next Show and everybody, we're no longer just doing all the work for anybody. Again, there's an athlete that was supposed to be on the show today. They didn't turn in their stuff. I just clicked them out. I cannot continue to reward those who don't work hard because there's so many athletes that actually are. They're putting themselves out there. They're, like I said, Caden was supposed to be on next week. He saw an opening. He went for it. There's other athletes that came from Kevin Moses that I said the same thing to. They didn't jump in there. Caden was on his money. You know what I'm saying? He was about to get it. Thank you so much for the cover and exposure. It is helping with my recruitment. I am open to all help. Leilani, you already know we got you. It's nothing but love from the big fella. And I know everybody else feels the same way. We got you 1,000%. 1,000%. So, you know, that's what it is. Like, put yourself out there, get what you need, do what you got to do. Hey, as a program, coaches, the coaches that are watching this show right now, CC Prospects 23, go get your program put in there. Let me go back through the comments. Hold on, because I don't want to miss this one. Matthew, go put a tri-state matrix in the go CC Prospects 23. Go get your whole program put in, bro. Like, there you go, man. Whoever you are, go get yourself in there, man. There's no reason not to. Go get your program in there. I know it's gonna be first come, first serve when they pick a program. They've done whole soccer programs, football programs, everything, man. So just but everything got to be done. I know that the editors and everybody got to do what they got to do. But I know that the magazine comes out Christmas Eve. If you want to be in it, there you go. There's your opportunity. Take it, don't take it. Look, it's Sunday. I love what I do. Y'all know how I say it every week. There's no other place I'd rather be. There's nothing else I'd rather do. I love being able to give these kids exposure. I love being able to talk to everybody and give you the information you need when it comes to all the chaos with the NCAA, the chaos with the NIL, the chaos with everything in general. I just would never, ever want to do anything different than what I do because I love it. Caden, I'll be reaching out to you. Let's try to link up either next week or the week after that. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all every day, all day. And I love it, man. I'll see y'all next week. Love you. Big fella out.
Wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big stepper, underground methods. Top-notch hoes get the most, not the lizard. Straight terror, but I know your errors. Pushing culture, baby, got that